Hey everybody, Reese and I, say hi Reese.
Hi, Reese.
Okay, so I tell everybody to listen to morning wake up calls, and I fought this, and Chris, fortunately, I don't have I don't have a lot of time, okay? Time is one of my excuses. And when I first started coaching, I was trying to manage a full-time job, and I was trying to do these huge challenge groups, and I was trying to build myself up too as a coach. So I didn't get to listen to all these wake-up calls, but now I'm taking the point. I've got podcasts on my iPhone. It's really awesome. If anybody can see, if you can see that little icon right there, it was already on my phone. I didn't even know it until Chris is like, you have podcasts on your phone. So I don't have free Wi-Fi at my house. So what did I do? When I went to Starbucks, I went and I downloaded a ton of podcasts from Beachbody's thing. And it's Team Beachbody Podcast. Okay, everything's probably backwards because it's how my computer is right now. But this is what it'll look like with a little Beachbody symbol and headphones. And there's a lot of great ones on there. The Shay Stanford one, I hope you guys have all listened to that. It's Shay, S-E-A, Stanford. She has a great one. She talks a lot about Shakeology and the importance of really looking at what's in your shake. So this is things that educated me on Shakeology and how to talk to people about it. We all know that we love the product because we personally use it, but how do we portray that to other people and how do we make them understand it? Listening to that call helps me. So I'm just trying to help you guys and teach you how I've learned to also talk to other people about Shakeology and talk about the coaching experience and talk about challenge groups. These calls help. So if you guys are looking for help or advice, listen to these morning wake-up calls. They're not a waste of time, I promise you. Yes, the first 10 or so minutes, they tell you everybody that's advanced to diamond, 1-star diamond, blah, blah, blah. The great thing about podcasts, I fast forward all the way through that, and I go to when the speaker gets on there, it's maybe 30 minutes, and it's a great call, and I'm always happy I listened to it. So, because I know some of you are not going and listening to this, or you say you can't figure out the podcast, which really it's truly simple. If you have a smartphone, you can do it. I'm going to actually record this, and I'm then going to upload it to YouTube, and then I'm going to put it on our team page, and then I'm going to cross my fingers and pray that everybody listens to it, because this is a really great call. It's Anita Miron. Anita Miron is a mom. She's a full-time Beachbody, and she's a top 10 coach from last year. So she has a really great story. She started out as a coach, not being fit, not being healthy, but really just being on her journey. And I want you all to listen to kind of she gives her background, what her turning point was in her coaching career, how when she first got started, she was extremely unsuccessful. And let me tell you, now she's a top 10 coach. So if that tells you, she is very, very, very successful now. But it's a learning experience. And if we're not all willing to learn from other people and take their advice, then you're not going to grow. Period. Okay, so please try to listen to this call. I'm going to play it, and you guys are going to see the back of my kitchen because Reese and I are going to go off and do our own thing so this call can play through. And I think you're probably going to hear about, 10 minutes of it. It's not a very long part, but I think it's a great story, and I think that it's really going to help you guys understand how to approach social media. So here we go.
Shared a turning point where things hit you in the face a little bit, and I just thought pretty telling that you used this, you turned a negative into a positive to propel your business. Can you share that? I think it's just a great story there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it kind of goes back to even before I signed up with Beachbody and before I had my daughter. I actually became a nightclub DJ in my early 20s, and this was just a way to have fun, support myself in college. On top of numerous other jobs like serving tables, bartending. But so my life actually in 2009 and 2010 sort of spiraled. And I shared this the last time I spoke on the National Wake Up Call. I developed some pretty unhealthy habits. In a nutshell, my diet consisted mostly of pineapple and vodka and not Shakeology. I was living for the moment in my early 20s, and I was very, very heavily consumed in the party scene. And so I was actually also pretty thin as well before having my daughter, because I lived with major issues with body image, and I chose not to eat as a way to lose weight. And so I was working in the club scene until 3 a.m. every other night, driving myself home, drunk behind the wheel. Needless to say, I was completely lost as a young adult, and I was running from some things that I needed to work on in myself. So God brought my husband into my life exactly when I needed him. Everything changed. Together, we actually decided to change our lives and live, life with more purpose than nightclubs and party scenes. And so we moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan, from Orlando, Florida, and actually managed to walk away from my issues with substance abuse. And it was great that I could do that. But then I turned to using food as a way to escape. And then I found out I was pregnant with Scarlett, and my mindset of focusing on myself shifted to focusing on being this new mom and being pregnant. So after I had Scarlett, I felt a new determination to work on myself, and I wanted to be a great role model for her and my family. And so I had someone else to improve for. And so Beachbody came in, and I was working on myself and working on getting fit and healthy, but it never really dawned on me to make this a real business until I started to hear from other people that my story was inspiring them, and they started to join my challenge groups and talk to me a little bit about their journey. But really, when I decided to take this business by storm and really make this, make this a real opportunity, a real income-producing opportunity, was when actually my debit card was declined at Target. I had this full cart of groceries. My baby girl was sitting in the front seat, and she was watching me. And I was nervous. I handed over my debit card, shaking, and the guy behind the counter said, "Declined, I'm so sorry." And that very moment, I was terrified. I was embarrassed. I pushed the cart to the side, kind of, my daughter was very young. She didn't understand, but nothing in the universe will push you to do something better with your life than to have that moment unfold in front of your own child. So I got home, I actually got in my car, and called my husband, and I was like, something needs to change. We need this to work. My husband was working seasonal. He was a wedding photographer. So it was winter, and we had no income from him for almost 6 months. I was working in a seasonal position as well, and I didn't have maternity leave. So we were recovering for 7 months of no income. So I had been doing Beachbody, sort of a hobby and a fun thing, but then I was like, these $200, $300 paychecks can really turn into something. So that's when we really decided to make this work. And I made sure to save every penny I was earning from that point forward to make it to Summit in 2013. And that was a huge aha moment, as many coaches will tell you. I saw all these people there that were just like me, that had accomplished something that I thought was so impossibly hard. But talking to them and seeing their stories and seeing them talk about their successes, I had to look at myself and say, why not me? So Summit was really a big game changer for my business as well, as that moment in Target. So there's just, two big turning points for me in my business.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, because life got pretty raw for a while. Yeah. But you've taken that and you've used that to motivate you and to build off of, and then you've done some amazing things. So congratulations. So let's jump in now to the kind of the meat of the call, and that is this ability to create what you've described as the difference between a high quality and low quality following through social media, and how you've managed to do that. So I'm just going to turn it over to you and say, okay, here we go. Here's what I've managed to do, and here's some tips as what you can do to build a high quality following.
Okay, perfect. So I told you my story just now about the drinking, the drugs, the nightclub scene. I told you about my eating issues. I told you about, our financial struggles. And I did that on purpose, guys. I wanted you to hear that story because it's the same exact story that I've presented through social media over the last 2.5 years. I have, in fact, built a very high-quality following by sharing that story. And that has actually translated to a high-quality business, a high-quality team culture, and a successful team of coaches. So this is going to be a very important message for new coaches, but also a great reminder to veteran coaches. I'm going to share with you what I've learned through trial and error about why it's important for Beachbody coaches to build a high-quality following through social media, but also the difference between a high-quality and low-quality following, and a few tips on how to improve the presence on social media, your presence.
Anita,
Yes.
Anita, before you go any further, I need you to make sure you keep your phone right up to your mouth. You feel like you're kind of drifting in and out a little bit.
Oh, okay. How about now?
So keep it close, please.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's first talk about why. Why is following through social media such a cool thing? I didn't know this in the beginning, but it is so neat because you can actually touch the lives of far more people than if you were not to have a following through social media. You can touch hundreds, thousands, even millions after years of building your social media, touch thousands, hundreds, millions of lives with one post about your journey. That's way more than if you were to build a following or your business in person. That's why you see so many businesses turning to social media to grow. So when you go to talk about your challenge group, you'll have far more people's eyes on your post, and the eyes will have people who trust you behind them. And when you have someone's trust, guys, they are far more likely to listen to what you have to say and believe in what you have to offer. When you're building a business on social media, it's important to have eyes on your posts, but those posts need to relate to you and trust you. So there's two ways you can build a social media presence and following. Like Jeff said, there's a high quality and there's a low quality. If you were to ask my coaches and challengers why they signed up with me, why they signed up with me as their coach, they'll tell you it was because they resonated with me. They felt connected to my story, and they felt inspired by my journey. Many of my coaches have found success because they knew what inspired them to join my team. They understood more quickly how to use their social media to inspire others, which helped them duplicate me in my business and help them grow. So I have actually built 100% of my business through social media. This was the most comfortable way for me to do this as a busy new mom. So when I got started as a coach, I approached social media in a way that many new coaches do. And you may want to raise your hands if this is you. I posted e-cards, Shakeology pictures, Beachbody links, just things that did not talk about me. I hid behind photos of someone else. I posted photos of fitness programs and Shakeology. And while that might get a few people here and there signed up right away, you're not building a following. So I wasn't seeing much success at first. People were not relating to me, and they did not have trust in me. I was coming off as someone with something to sell, and that scared people away. So I was building this low-quality following, not a high-quality one. So in fact, I was watching my friends delete me. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, guys, but you can see when your Facebook friends delete you, you start to see that number drop. I was seeing it drop, and as a new business, as somebody that was motivated to do this, that's not a good thing. I was like, I need to change. So I realized through trial and error that I was getting more likes, more comments, more shares on posts that were from the heart. People were participating in posts that involved me. So I shared with you, I was 200 pounds. I started my journey actually with Chalene Extreme and Shakeology. My initial goal as a coach was a discount and accountability. I didn't really put much thought and effort behind what I was posting. So finally, I decided that what I was doing on social media was not working. I was not hitting Success Club. I was not recruiting challengers and coaches into my business. So I needed to look at what I was doing and make a change. So I decided to try just being real and having fun with my journey. So I started to share about what I was learning, my successes, and even my failures. I even opened up about how my life is changing as a mom and a wife. And I started to share that very story I shared with you in the beginning. So it was actually, guys, it was very terrifying and difficult for me to share my story to you guys today. I was shaking more so than talking about this stuff. That is very difficult for me. And so you can imagine, as somebody who's brand new to social media, brand new to this business, opening up and talking about an eating issue and opening and talking about issues with alcohol and just bad habits. That was very terrifying. But I knew that I was seeing that being real was changing other people's lives, and that was really cool, and that motivated me. So I started to share more. I got out of my comfort zone, and I became vulnerable, and that was huge and very scary. So when you change so much about the way you eat and your lifestyle, you start to become super proud. That's why being proof the product works, that very key vital behavior, that's why that's so important. So because you get that excitement to share, you start to feel what this company is all about. I was a walking, talking billboard right away. I wanted to shout from the rooftops, why aren't more people doing this? I truly did not know that what I was doing on my Facebook page, I didn't understand it right away that I was inspiring people until this question came forth. Hey, Anita, your journey has inspired me to get my act together. I've had trouble with my weight for years. Because you got in front of the camera and showed yourself sweating and working hard, I decided I wanted to do what you're doing. How do I sign up? This was 1 month after starting my program. I had already begun inviting like crazy. I was sending out invites and being told no over and over again because I hadn't been posting enough. People didn't understand what I was doing. I was coming out of left field. So this moment, that message was very monumental. And I took 3 things away from that message. Number 1, because of you. Number 2, because you got in front of the camera. And because, number 3, you showed yourself. And because you were real. So I thought to myself, as this new entrepreneur, if this was the case for one person, I bet my story would continue to inspire. Not someone else's story, not some stock photos from Pinterest or Google, but me. I would inspire and give people just like me a reason to come back to my page and follow me. I created 1 high-quality follower after 1 month of posting. And you know what? Within 2 months, which is so cool, I hit Success Club 10, and I had 5 people in my challenge group, all from posting about my journey. I related, I connected, and I gave them a reason to check back in with me. From my posts, other women began to share my posts, and their friends began to share it. Sort of this, domino effect. And as I began to connect with other like-minded people in local moms groups and interest groups and adding value into these groups and posting value onto my page, my news feed, my Facebook friend list just began to grow and grow and grow. I've been a Beachbody coach for 2.5 years. I've been really working my business for 2, and I have maxed out on friends, almost 5,000 friends, and I have almost 5,000 followers. So it grew, and it grew over time. Because people wanted to come back and see what I was going to say next. So there is a difference between high quality and low quality following on social media. There's a good way and a bad way to build following. So sure, you can add tons of friends, and there's ways to pay for tons of followers and likes on various platforms. Okay? But if you don't gain their trust and loyalty along the way, your message will fall on deaf ears. So put yourself in this quick situation. You're standing in line somewhere and you hear somebody talking about a restaurant. You do not know the person. Your initial thought will probably be, geez, I probably should check that place out one day. But your best friend says the same thing to you a week later. I tried out this restaurant. It was amazing. It was the same restaurant as you heard in line. Then you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go make a reservation. So the same thing happens, and same thing goes for social media following. If your following is connected to you and you've earned their approval, they're more likely to hear your posts about fitness and say, okay, Anita, I'm going to check out this 21-day fix thing or P90X. So here's the kicker. You would have needed to earn their trust at some point. Post alone about programs such as 21-day fix, P90X, it won't do it. Post alone about fitness won't do it. If they don't know you and your story with our programs and Shakeology and your story in life in general, and they're just finding you on social media, they're not going to listen as well as somebody who has your story. They know your story, I mean. So I'm going to share with you now some nitty-gritty tips on how to improve your quality of following, how to add value, and really connect with these people who are your new friends and followers on social media. So first, you need to identify. First of all, actually, get a pen and paper out and start making notes. You need to identify your niche. Your niche, guys, this is amazing. It's you. My niche, when I got started, I didn't know. I was trying to invite Henry, Paul, Jane, Jack, all age groups. I wasn't talking to my niche. And so let me tell you what my niche is. I'm a mom. I'm a new mom. I'm in my 20s. I had issues with my self-image. I had previous issues with being just a wild party girl. And I'm changing and growing as a new mom in my fitness journey. So a lot of my coaches and challengers, if you were to interview them, they'll tell you that they're pretty much the same. It's kind of cool. So what I want you to do, after you hang up this call, is get out a pen and paper and write down 3 qualities about yourself. Okay? Write down 3 things that make you you, and then write 5 bucket list items, and write 3 things that you're working on about yourself. Okay? And then cater your post to that type of person. Next, when sitting down to create your post about value and relatability, when you're sitting down to create your post, think about value and relatability. First, how can your post add value to someone's day? Second, how can you help other people get to know you? Third, relate and be relevant to the type of person you are. Be consistent when doing all of this. You must do this sort of thing daily, and that's how you're going to gain more trust. I had the luxury of sitting in the audience with John C. Maxwell at Beachbody Summit 2013, and he said, your daily goal should not be how much you can sell, how many people you can get to buy stuff from you. Your daily goal should be how many lives you can affect in a positive way, how much nitty-gritty value you can hand over to someone's life. And so when I got back from Summit, that was my new mission. You need to turn around and think to yourself, when I'm opening my computer today, what facts, what things do I know, what journey have I been on, what life experiences do I have, and how can I flip that, make that into an amazing message or some sort of fun message and put that on my social media, because that message, anything that you have to offer, is going to change at least one person's life, if not more. So last, be in front of the camera. I'm talking about photos, videos. I know this is uncomfortable for a lot of people, but trust me, it's uncomfortable for everybody. I have to think back to when I was 210 pounds. I asked my husband to do a video of me doing burpees. I literally cried when I turned around and saw that video. But I said, there's another woman on my social media who's 210 pounds who needs to see this very same video right now, because she's going to go, I need to do that too. So I posted it up, bit all my nails off, and I had so many women come back to me and said, your video just made me work out. That is value, and that was super cool for me to hear, and it got me addicted to continuing to do that. So get your camera out. I challenge you today, after you write your list and make your niche market, get your camera out and take a selfie of you just smiling. Start there. And then work your way into a sweaty workout photo. Work your way into doing push-ups with your kiddo on your back. Work your way into setting up your camera and working out and putting yourself out there as a sweaty hot mess and sharing that story. Okay? Make sure also that these posts are high quality, okay? Try to make sure that you've got pretty decent lighting, that you are taking a little extra time to make sure that your photos are going to attract somebody's attention, because you really have 5 seconds of people's attention on social media. So really think about that as well. So think about your post as your life journey right now. Your sort of reality television show, your biography. Ask questions and get involved in your post. As people share and comment, this is a great way to gain new friends and followers. And make sure you comment back. Make sure you conversate back, because it's a great way to gain even more trust.
Okay, so I'm cutting her short. There's only like 3 minutes left. But I thought that was just a great call, because literally, if I was on the morning wake-up call, that's exactly how my call would sound. Of course, I didn't have the history of being a bartender and partying a lot. But I do have, that is what I do. I share what I do. When I first started coaching, I got these generic posts and I really didn't get anything. My turning point, like Chris and I was just talking, my turning point as a coach was in October. I did this post, and if many of you have followed me for a while, I did this post where somebody had, gosh, I don't know, I think Beachbody put my before and after on somewhere, and I got like a ton of negative comments and just really hurtful things because people thought that I was too skinny, or I would never want to look like that, or she looked better before. And it was just all real, no, I shouldn't say all, because there was a ton of really, really great comments, but it's like that one person made me feel like it was all negative comments. And so I just kind of broke down, and I never cry in front of anybody. If you ask my husband, if you ask my mom, if you ask anybody, I do not cry in front of people. It's just not my thing. I don't know. That's how I've always been. But I just was crying, and I was just upset, and I felt torn apart. And I took a picture, which was really hard to do, and it was really hard to even look at the picture. But I took the picture, and I posted it. And I did a really raw, emotional, heartfelt post that came from within, that was super personal and very unlike me to do on social media, very unlike me to do at all. And I hit post, and that was back in October. And if I didn't get, I don't know how many friend requests that day, I got, I think, 80 comments, and I don't know how many likes. And after that, I really felt like I grabbed a lot of people's attention, which, you know, it was kind of what I had planned to do, not necessarily grab their attention and not necessarily to benefit me, but just to show people that, you know, there is social media, bully is out there, and I'm just trying to be healthy, and I'm just trying to be me. And why would you want to beat me down? Why? I don't understand this. Like, this is how I feel right now. This is my emotions, and I'm putting it out there. But I gained a lot of people's trust that day. I really feel like I did, because I opened up and I did something that was 110% out of my comfort zone. And I'm not asking any of you guys to do that, but I'm just telling you, when people ask me how I'm so successful or I want to do what you're doing, I'm very open. And that's just how it is. I'm very open about my life, my struggles. I try to eat healthy. I don't always eat healthy, and I'm very open and honest about that. And, you know, when somebody says you're too skinny, you know, and everybody's like, oh, well, that's, you know, people don't think about that, because when you tell somebody, well, you're too fat, well, you know, that's going to hurt their feelings. But when you tell somebody you're too skinny, they don't think that's going to hurt their feelings. When really, you know, when you mean it in a negative way and you've tried so hard to get healthy and you feel good about yourself, and then somebody puts on a negative comment, it just really beats you down. So I was really open and honest that day, and I did that post, and I really think I grabbed a lot of people's trust that day. So I loved Anita's call, because that's kind of what she said too. She posted doing burpees at 210 pounds, and she, you know, sat there and watched herself do it, and she cried, but she still hit post because she knew that it would touch somebody. So sometimes in order to be successful, you know, I've read this in the Slight Edge, you got to really live outside of your comfort zone, because people who live inside their comfort zone are typically not going to be the people that are very successful. So I live outside of my comfort zone daily. And it's really brought me to this point in my coaching career, and I'm so ecstatic that that's what I chose to do. So I hope everybody listens to this call. I hope everybody continues to start listening to the morning wake-up calls, because they're fabulous. They're every morning. They're at 11 o'clock. If you can't listen to them, there's a callback number. You can actually call back, and you can listen to it in your car, on your phone, or wherever, or you can get it on podcast whenever it's recorded. And I think, I don't know, like it's uploaded within a few days, and you can listen to it on the podcast. And if you have Bluetooth in your car, you can have it on your smartphone and then Bluetooth it into your car, which is what I do a lot of times too, or just put it on your smartphone and put it on your headphones. So, all right, everybody, ta-ta.